Hello, House of Prince Reviews here for today's review that should have come a lot earlier, but I've been I've just been sort of pushing it back here and there, honestly. But anyway, What If Season 3, the final season of the What If animated series from Marvel Studios. A show that I've obviously reviewed the other two seasons, and now it's time to look at the final one. And let's just go over what I think of the show overall. I really do enjoy this show. I love I love the concept of, what if these different Marvel movies or shows or these characters went different routes, and I just feel like that was for the direction of if you had to for the silly side of of what we've seen, with shows that can't be taken too seriously, like because there's been a few moments in this that have made of Marvel ever since the start of the multiverse saga, there's been a lot of cringeworthy moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and they have rubbed people the wrong way. This was the only show where it made sense, and the only thing that made sense. And the first season I really enjoyed. I really loved. There are quite. I love pretty much all the episodes. Four of them. I watch at least uh every 2 months, honestly, or something. I watch the episodes 2, 4, 5, and 9 quite often. Whenever I feel like it. The second season that was released last year. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit of a step backwards. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I just had a lot of there was just a lot of minor problems I had with it. Like, I wasn't a big fan of how Stephen Strange Supreme's story ended. I wasn't a big fan of how the show opened, but I know but they do the same thing here, so I kind of got used to it. I wish they could have included more elements of Phase 4, instead of the two episodes where they did it, And I just I would have want more explained for the watcher, but it was still handled well. If and there were some really good episodes like the Heller episode and the episode centered around the new character Kahori. So going into season 3, it was interesting where how this would finish up because obviously you're going to have um because obviously you will have your standalone stories, but also you have the climax of where the Watcher is going, where the Watcher's story will end, and where Captain Carter's story will end. And yeah, let's just go on with them. In terms of the pros are still the pros. The animation is great. Flying Buck Productions, an Australian animation company, who've made stuff like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Blinky Bill, the Maya the Bee films. It's good to see him get continue to get work and stuff like this is great. I think they're going to be working on the upcoming Avatar movie that comes out next year. I think I'll have to double check that. I know they're doing something with Avatar, The Last Airbender. The voice acting is great. All the actors who return from the film from the main from the film franchise from the films and TV shows continue to do a good job, and the people who they get to replace them are handled well. Do a good job as well. The humor is great. I really do enjoy the humor. Uh, and I like in this season they actually do expand a bit more on the Watcher and how he's grown throughout the first two seasons. Now it's making him decide to actually use his influence to guide certain characters within their stories, which obviously gets him in trouble with the rest of the Watchers. So yeah, that was really I really enjoyed that. Um, and I do have to say I do enjoy a lot more episodes than I did in season two. Let me like I episode. In fact, to be honest, episodes 2 to 6 are really strong. Honestly, I really do enjoy those episodes. I mean, I love the emergence episode, the episode involving Riri Williams taking on Quentin Beck. That was a really cool episode, and even though Spider-Man doesn't appear in it outside of a brief little cameo at the end, though to be fair, I think they're setting up for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series, as well as maybe Marvel Zombies for this year. I don't know, but I know the zombie series is set in a zombie episode from the show, so from What If. So yeah, that's good. I love the Red Guardian Winter Soldier episode is actually kind of funny. I do enjoy that. Agatha in Hollywood with Kingo from the Eternals is actually kind of funny, to be honest, and I really do enjoy it for it is. And I mean, if there's one thing the show is going to keep on, I'm going to remember the show a lot for is how well they've handled Howard the Duck. I mean, jeez, the Duck is probably the best character in my view of how they handle him in the show. Like every episode they feature Howard is just comedy gold, and just how they take it both seriously and not seriously. Just with how his character is in each of these worlds, and this time actually the episode being a sequel to the Thor being an only child episode, and having him and Darcy Lewis. I love that episode. That's funny. Yeah. Um. So yeah. The other episode's also good. Episode one I was a little bit, yeah, give or take. I mean, for Hulk, the this World War Hulk storyline with mech suits and all that. So I was like, yeah, I could give a take on that. And the episode six of the Western storyline with Kate Bishop and Shang-Chi is also handled well. Though you can kind of guess where the ending's going. Well, who the villain is, that is. To be honest, the problems mainly well, okay, along with episode one, the main two episodes I don't like are the final two, the last two episodes, which complete the story. I mean, the Watcher Tribunal, I was kind of hoping for a bit more, from them. I mean, yeah, you can see why they're furious with, Uatu, the Watcher who's been guiding us through these stories for actually getting involved too many times to influence how stories end. Um, Yeah, I would have liked more from them. I would like them to be shown all throughout the series, just so they can get an idea of how much is and then when you get to the point where they're judging his crimes, that would be a good scene to basically sort of get more of a context. Um, Even the final fight is all that impressive. To defeat the Watcher Tribunal, the Watcher and his allies uh, f- uh, have to get to the new universe created by Doctor Strange Supreme, and he sacrificed in season two, so he can so they could potentially lose their powers because Strange is now the cosmic entity of that universe and controls who has power and who hasn't. So yeah, in the fight between them, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I give it a take. I wasn't too impressed. And then there's Captain Carter, who's been one of my least favorite characters in this show. Like, it's more like the fact that when it comes to our episodes, like the first episode where we were introduced to her, which is season one, episode one, her story was just it was just retreads of the first Avenger, but with her getting the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. I mean, it wasn't the best. Give it. I wasn't too impressed. The appearance in the season series finale of season one was handled well. I like that. The three episodes she has in season two, like, I mean, the continuation of her story of how she finds us, which is retread of Winter Soldier, where Steve Rogers is basically, brainwashed by Hydra. I wasn't too impressed, but I guess he could have. And then she ends up in another dimension, another universe to do inspired by Robin Hood, where it's Winter Soldier, no, where they do a storyline center with elements from Civil War, and then even the season finale, she's up against Strange Supreme, one of her former allies in season one. Yeah, I it's just sort of still like a retread of Steve Rogers' story in the sacred timeline, until we get to the final episode. Like, I kind of wanted her to get a happy ending. Like, you didn't have to go the same route. Even just a few changes from how Steve Rogers' storyline ended. in the main time, the Sacred Timeline, but I just would have liked a decent ending for her. It looks like she's doing well in this, where she's made a new team of these fellow female warriors, including Kahori, Howard the Duck and Darcy Lewis's child in this series in season 5, and Storm from the X-Men from X-Men '97. Now with the power of four, um, I was like, yeah, I kind of wanted a bit more of that, and you can see also that she still interacts with her fellow guardians of the multiverse. Well, that is for T'Challa and Gamora, who I would have liked to see show up in this. Well, okay, even if T'Challa, just have T'Challa be mute, like obviously with the whole Chadwick Boseman's death and everything. But I just would have liked the way she ends and her sacrifice to help the Watcher, to help you Uatu beat the Watch Tribunal. I don't know. I just it wasn't the way I wanted her character to end, even though she was my favorite in this whole entire series. You know, I, it's funny. One of my least favorite characters. I was just like, I want her to have a good ending, a happy ending. You know, but hey, that's what you get at times. With that said, I do understand. It's not the end all be all for Haley Atwell's Peggy Carter, because Peggy Carter is set to return in Avengers Doomsday, and I'm not sure how that's going to end, how what's going to happen with that. Whether it's going to be a new version of Captain Carter, because we do know there are other versions of this character that exist thanks to Multiverse of Madness. Um, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the end, season 3 is good. I honestly think it's on par with season 2. It's not as great as season 1 in my view. I mean, season 1, as I said, I enjoy that a lot. Season 3, it's solid. It's a really good season. I do enjoy it more than season 2, with obviously the biggest exceptions being the final 2 episodes. But it's still a decent enough ending for this show, and it's not like they could probably bring it back at some point, depending on how the multiverse saga ends. Yeah, just gonna have to wait and see. Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. In the end, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 has stars. It's solid. I really do enjoy it. At some point, I will review the whole entire series now that it's completed. But you're gonna have to wait for that because I just want to, give it time. Give it time. Maybe 6 months. Then I jump back in and give it another and review the whole entire series. Just gonna have to wait and see. But in terms of what's next, hopefully be a film in theaters or something else. You never know. For the meantime, as of most reviews is out, and I shall see you next time. Ciao.